So Jens, tell me a little bit about your company.
It's called Teenage Engineering. We started it in 2007 when we started it after we moved into a space, me and Jesper and David. We decided that we wanted to make a synthesizer, a portable synthesizer, and we needed a company to do that. We also started doing some consultancy work together and needed to do that under a common name. So we started using Teenage Engineering for that. And that's also how we financed the development of the OP1, by doing consultancy work.
Only? Nothing else?
That and mortgage on our houses. So we put in some money, but no venture capital. Not this time or at this stage. We wanted total freedom to do what we wanted, and so we saw that we needed to finance ourselves.
And how many are you here today?
We're around 20 people now. When we did the OP1, we were 5, but then when we started selling, we realized we need people to deliver, we need people to work with the factories, we need salespeople, so we need to grow. Today we're 20 people. We started out as 6 years ago, 7 almost. We have been growing a bit the last 2 years because we realized we need salespeople, people to manage the factories, and logistics and all these areas where we didn't need to have people from the beginning when we were just developing our products.
Is it easier or harder having much more people, or is it easier because then you don't have to, then you can focus on whatever you want? How does it work with the?
It's easier in the beginning when you're just doing one thing. You're just developing whatever you're doing, and you can focus on that. It's harder now because you easily get distracted by the manufacturing and selling and marketing, all these areas. So it's harder, I think, to focus on product development nowadays. But that's also in my role at the company right now, because there are all these areas where nobody works, where that has to be done, all these tasks, which we don't have a person yet. So everybody has to pick some areas. I have been working with sales and finance, so this takes part of my time. So it's less time developing nowadays.
What is the positive with growing?
The positive thing about growing is getting the resources to do more products, and also once you start selling, you get the reaction from the consumers and the customers, which is really great. And you start seeing your products in the stores, and it's really fun to see something that you have done out in the stores.
You have mainly guys sitting here at the office.
We try to be diverse with our workforce. We have several people that it's not from Sweden. We only have 3 girls working here.
How come?
We try to find programmers, engineers, electronic engineers, mechanic engineers that are female, but it's hard. So it's really, really hard to find good engineers in general, but it's even harder to find female engineers.
Was it hard Once you had the success with the OP1, was it hard to move on from that, do you think?
We're still working a bit. We're still working with the OP1. We develop the accessories and we do add new features. Like at least 2 times every year, we release new operating systems with the new features. So we haven't let go of the OP1, and it still has lot of feature that others synths don't have. So in a way, it is harder to focus on the new products because we still have to work, or we still want to work with the OP1. But it's not a bad thing going between 2 different tasks sometimes, because you don't get stuck. If you get stuck on one thing, you can start working on another for a bit and go back when you have some fresh ideas.
Who is your dream customer?
My dream customer, I think my dream customer is someone who don't know anything about the technology inside the product, but rather see the product as a nice for what it can do and what it looks like, and appreciate all the smart features that we try to build in a easy to use way. It's hard to say it in a shorter way, but
give me a name.
I mean, you would be a great customer for the OP1. If you buy it, then I see it as a success, because you probably haven't synthesizers at home. But if you're interested in making music, you should buy an OP1.
Are you trying to sell me one?
Yeah, sure. Along the way.
Could you shortly describe your background, your partner's background and yours?
Yeah. I started out when I started working, it was in the mid-90s, doing PlayStation games for PlayStation 1 some years ago, 20 years ago. And then went on to doing games for the web in the around 2000, and then into consultancy work in games and advertising online, right before starting teenage engineering.
Have you ever been worried or that your company wouldn't do well? Have you ever been?
Yeah, sometimes you're worried about the future and the economical state of the company. It goes up and down, just as sales go up and down, and the developing of a new product changes.
What do you think is the secret of you being such a great businessman, you three?
I mean, we have our experience. We have started business before. This is not the first time we do something. All of us have started business before. Some have went well and some haven't, but this gives great experience. And also, we have done products before. We have been through the whole process of working 2 or 3 years on one product, and keeping focus for that long time is not easy. And you have to know when you start a project, you have to know how much work is really involved.
Where do you see yourself in the future?
I mean, we are really a global company already. Like, we sell 95% on export. So in 5 or 10 years, we're even more a global company. We're not just in Sweden, but maybe in US as well as in Asia, because we need to be where the market is. And you can sell globally from one place, but to be really successful in North America, for example, you need to be there. So I think we will stay true and still be a Swedish company, but very global and a lot bigger.
And where do you sell the most? What country?
We sell almost half goes to US.
And the other half?
The other half, we sell mostly to US, and then it's Japan, Germany, France, UK, and then a lot of smaller countries.
Where do you find your inspiration from?
I find inspiration from my own needs and also from other products. I think if you can see what's good and what's not so good in other products, you know how you want your own product to be. And you also have to be not afraid to improve what you are working on, because during the process of making a product, time goes and you get new ideas and you should retry your old ideas. So and inspiration can come from different areas from what you're working with. I mean, you can get inspiration from furniture or from textile print or graphic design when working on other areas. I mean, you can get inspiration from games when working on user interface, because games are very direct and really intuitive in how you move and interact. So if you can apply part of that to a product, you get an easier to use product and you get a more direct interface. And some of us have a game background, so I think it comes natural for us to bring that into the product.